Hello my dear students, I welcome you all to a new video from Believers IS Academy. Today we shall look into a topic which covers the anti-G7 riots that are taking place in a city called as Geneva. First, let us look at what does G7 mean. G7 stands for Group of 7 countries, which includes USA, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and Canada. This basically is a group of the world's top 7 economies. These economies put together have 40% of the GDP, whereas they only account for around 10% of the population of the world. Alright? So, imagine the kind of economic concentration that has happened in these G7 countries. Now, let us geographically understand where is the G7 or where is the Geneva located. The city of Geneva is located in Switzerland, which falls here. Geneva is here. And the current G7 summit, which is the 52nd G7 summit, is being held at a place called as Evians, which is here, somewhere here. So, the city of Geneva, where the riots took place recently, and the city of Evians, which falls within the borders of France, are around 50 kilometers apart. That's it. So, the riots of Geneva assume a significance because of the proximity of its location with the current G7 summit. So, the current G7 summit has already begun on June 15th and it will be concluded on 17th. French President Emmanuel Macron has personally invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend the G7 summit, and the Prime Minister Modi is currently attending the summit in France. So, why did the riots happen in Geneva? One of the primary reasons for the riots was that G7 countries are seen as a symbol of concentrated power amongst these 7 countries. This city saw around 20,000 people, which included climate activists, Palestinian rights supporters, and anti-capitalist groups, converge onto the city of Geneva. What was also a very flashpoint in this particular protest was just this week, Elon Musk was declared as the world's first trillionaire when his company Tesla went public. So, trillionaire Musk is now a symbol of concentrated wealth for the global poor or the global south. He is not only a hero for millions, but he is also equally a villain for others as well. This protest or this riot actually started as a peaceful march with some Latin music being played around. And soon it was now infiltrated with what is referred to as the Black Bloc. As soon as a few individuals joined this particular peaceful protest, it went haywire and it ended up into complete chaos. The people involved in the protest started targeting the symbols of capitalism in Geneva. What began as a vibrant music-filled demonstration was hijacked by an estimated 600 black-clad Black Bloc activists who started attacking any symbols of capitalism and global governance. What did they attack per se? A Tesla car was set ablaze with writings upon the car which read "Eat the Rich," which was directed directly to Elon Musk for his richness that he has attained. International Telecommunication Union, which headquarters in Geneva, which is a part of UN agency, was also attacked. That means it is a symbol of the people's attack on the United Nations, because the United Nations, which takes up the responsibility of ensuring economic equality amongst all its participants, has failed in its duty to do so. Apart from that, other corporate offices were also vandalized as they became targets of this riot group, such as PricewaterhouseCoopers as well as a local bank. So this riot, in a way, went on quite devastatingly when the Law enforcement agencies had to intervene. Now, what came as a criticism was as to how the Switzerland police or the Geneva's police rounded up people, hundreds of people, and they were all kept overnight without food and water. Now, this ended up becoming a political controversy as it went against the basic human rights of the people who were detained in the protests. So, the mass detention operation drew sharp criticism from political groups and protest organizers alike. On one hand, we have the riots taking place. On the other hand, we have people criticizing the police or the law enforcement agencies for detaining these protesters. Now, what is the narrative that is happening around regarding this G7 summit? On one hand, lots of people around the world are unhappy as to how the political as well as economic power is being concentrated only in the hands of few top performing countries, be it the G7 or the G20 per se. So that has become a sore point in the eyes of the socialists around the world. Also, what came to the question is that how a minority of individuals can hijack totally peaceful protests and turn them into completely chaotic situations. That is also a point in question. Finally, what is the unanswered question here is, can the G7 summit, which is being held in Evian, can this summit ultimately address the inequality and the rage felt on the streets? Please comment in the comment box below as to what is the name of this particular lake on the banks of which the city of Evian is being located.